you all are making between $19 to $23 an hour, guaranteed. Guaranteed. This is not a, will you get in and your experience, we may drop you down lower. No, this is guaranteed starting at $19. So we just want you all to get that information out there to you. There's also an announcement that she'll make about an event tomorrow. That'll be really great for our students to attend. But I just want you guys to take the time to listen, take the information, and follow accordingly. So I'd like now to introduce a recruiter for the 2020 census, Miss Lolita Williams. Let's give her a hand.
Really quickly, applications are available for SGA elections and Mr. and Mrs. Shorter College. If you need one, please see Dr. Boyd Owens in the back.
And one other thing, just want to say thank you. Thank you to Ms. Hayes, Ms. Brown, Ms. Smith, everyone who participated in our chapel this morning. Thank you so much. Give them a round.
All right, I appreciate you all having me here, Shorter College having me here. This is my second time working with the census. I did 26 years in the military, and I was a little too young to sit at home, so I did a lot of volunteering for Salvation Army, and then I heard about the census opportunity, so I worked with them in 2010. It was so much fun that I decided to do it again now. I do want to say, how many people live in Little Rock? Raise your hand. Okay, how many people live in North Little Rock? North Little Rock zone. I live in Little Rock, but North Little Rock is on it when it comes to getting their revenue back from the federal government. They are out there. The mayor is campaigning. Mr. Price is out there. They want everybody counted, and they're on it. Jacksonville is on it. Cabot is on it. Little Rock, I believe we're working on it, but I can't say when I go around Pulaski County, the cities that are really out there and on it. It's very important to get that money because it's a simple process. We pay our taxes up. They give most of us a little bit of money back. The rest of that money is kept. The only way that each state, each city, each town get that money back is by population. So it's an opportunity, approximately $3,000 per person. Even a 1-year-old counts in that per person. All the way up to a 100-year-old count in that per person. If it's miscounted, you have to wait 10 years to change it. So if you have 200 people living in Southwest Little Rock, only 55 of them people get counted. They're going to give them 55 people worth of money for 10 years. So if you get the count right ahead of time, the money's right. More money for streets, more money. When they look at the demographics, it's not only the money, it's not only the free tax money coming back, it's also grant money, extra money. They look at demographics. They want to know how many children need a daycare in Rose City. Right now, Rose City is, when I look at my iPad, Rose City is solid red. What that means to us, it goes, when I first started, all across Arkansas was red. That means I'm a recruiter, so not enough people were put in their application to work in those particular areas. So I've been doing this for a year. So most of Arkansas is green now, but then there's these pockets that pop up as red. Normally, it goes along with hard to count, hard to enumerate areas, people who don't readily participate in the census. So from my side of the house, that means not enough people have put in their application to count the people in their own neighborhoods. When you put in your application, the first thing they ask you for is your zip code, because it's easier for North Little Rock folks, Rose City folks to count their neighbors than from somebody to come all the way from Cabot and try to knock on folks' doors and say, I need you to fill out your survey. It's easier for someone to say, hey, I live over off of East Broadway. And if that person lives off of East Broadway, the likelihood of them having a relationship and being able to help that person fill out the survey is high. I just made 5 pointers. And one more thing with the importance of the census. Now, trust me, this is not a political statement. This is a money statement. I like getting people paid so their lives will be easier. So this is a money statement, not a political statement. Everybody heard about the 1% tax hike that Little Rock might be proposing? What will happen? Now that's 1%, 1 cent tax hike. What would happen if you just get your population counted completely? You wouldn't have to raise taxes. You'll have plenty of money. So that's how important that getting counted is. We wouldn't have to have certain tax hikes if we get the population counted to 100%. I think it's already been said, and also it's full-time employment as well. So you can work part-time, work around your class schedules, all the way up to full-time. 7 days a week. The census is running 7 days a week, almost 24 hours a day, almost. Right now in the office downtown, there's 2 shifts. The office goes from 8 in the morning to 8 at night, 7 days a week. Once they put enumerators out in the community, we get into daylight savings time. The workers in the community work from sun up to sundown, set their own schedule. I don't know any other job where you can set your own schedule, pick the days you want to work, pick the hours you want to work. So it is part-time all the way up to full-time is available. And yes, the pay did go from, initially it started, depending on the job, it was from $14 to $19 to $18.50 an hour, but now it's $19 to $23 an hour, plus mileage. If you're in the community, which is they call it out in the field, it pays 58 cents a mile when you round up. It's 57 point something cent a mile, but it's 58 cents a mile, plus your regular pay. I already mentioned that Rose City, so if you all know anyone from Highway 30 down East Broadway, all the way down both sides, all the way to Rose City as it curves around, all the way back down the highway until you get to 40. All that is solid red. Not enough people have applied for the job. Tomorrow, we're having an open house. We're located at 200 West Capitol, downtown Little Rock. It's in the Bank of America building, first floor. That open house is to give people an opportunity. It was a young lady up here that told me she got hired. I think she left already. She told me she got hired. But if they have contacted you and called you and you want to come and see how the office is set up, you're welcome to come down to the office. If you want to put in your application on the spot in the office tomorrow, you can come down to the office and do that. The open house is from 9 to 5 p.m. and that's tomorrow. For students, it's nice to have a federal job on your resume. It would be something nice to have. At the end of the job, they give you what's called an SF-50. For veterans, they give us what's called a DD-214. That DD-214 has a lot of weight. I have any veterans here? Our DD-214s have a lot of weight. So does an SF-50 when you do your resume, and if you ever want to consider going into other government jobs, that SF-50 is a foot in the door for the government job because it shows them that it's an extensive background check, that you pass that background check, you work for the government with no problem. So when you move on, city, state, federal level jobs, it's nice to have an SF-50 to say for 6 months, I work with the 2020 census. And it definitely looks good on your resume. It's a telephonic job offer. I run across people that say, Well, I did my application. I haven't heard from you all. Initially, the calls were coming out of Kansas City, which was the regional office, so it was an 816 number. A lot of young people, they don't answer their phone from numbers they don't know. So they were literally missing their job call. And then as I go around, I started with 7 counties. As they hired people, I only have Pulaski County now. As I go around Pulaski County, I still run into people who don't answer their phone from 501. And I tell them, it's a telephone interview and job offer. How are you gonna get the job if you're not answering your phone? I mean, they flat out said, I don't answer my phone from numbers I don't know. If I didn't answer my 312, my call came out of Chicago. So I just happen to, I answer my phone, and if it's not something for me, I just say thank you, bye. So 312, I answered my phone that day, and they identified themselves as the Census Bureau, and we're calling from Chicago. And I'm like, Chicago, I want to work in Little Rock. But it turned out that that's the way that it goes. Chicago, then the regional office, and now they have the local office in Little Rock, and they have one in Fayetteville. Are there any questions? That's the highlights I have for the census. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Williams, can you elaborate on, and of course that this may not even be the case, but I know that I can remember, several censuses back, and initially it was thought that there was a stigma on census taking, meaning that the government was trying to see what we were doing or spy on us and those kind of things. Do you find that to be that stigma to still be out there?
It's still out there in some areas. Southwest Little Rock would be one of them, because sometimes that's a younger transitional population. And if we really think about it, someone that's 25 this year was only 15 last time we did the census. So there's quite a few stigmas out there. There's an elderly stigma. I happen to have, if an elderly person happen to have their grandchildren and they're on a fixed income, and they don't really want to let the government know that their grandchildren are staying with them. If people are receiving, I think, certain benefits, you can't have felons at the house staying with you and still draw Section 8 and different benefits. So people don't want to share that information. But the confidentiality of the census, they don't cross that information with the rest of the government. They really don't. That information is not numbers. It's all about male or female, race, age. They may ask income for economic status. They want to know if they need to put more money in Rose City versus putting more money in the Heights. That's why they ask the income. So it's those type of questions, and it gives them the demographics of Arkansas. And they report numbers. They don't report names and birthdays and social security numbers. It's all about the numbers. So it's revenue, population, and demographics. That's all they're looking at. So it has been stigma over many years. And when we go back to trace our ancestors with the census, mine stops at about 1900. There's nothing I can find beyond that, because people don't readily answer questions on the census properly. And it's just purely numbers. Okay. Any more questions?
Well, I just wanted to add into that is that how can we alleviate those kind of stigmas? I noticed you mentioned Southwest Little Rock and there being a younger group of folks. What can we do?
Through education. The churches have to educate. They have a program called Census in the Schools. The Little Rock School District can give the teachers permission to go on the website and download the material, incorporate it into the history classes, incorporate it into the civics classes. It even goes all the way down to elementary school in the form of coloring pages. they can actually download the coloring pages and just give the children a brief overview of the census to their level. Because the census has been going since the beginning of time. Because Christ went, Mary and Joseph went where to do what? It was tax purposes and census that they traveled to Bethlehem. So we've been doing this since the beginning. And I see it as we'll be doing it till the end. So, we got to let our young people know about this. It's all about educating. Wherever I go, unbelievable, I can go to some neighborhoods and they're on it. I can go to others, and we've been doing this for a year. So I'm like, clearly, when I go over here to Baseline, to this red area, Guyer Springs, Baseline, all the way up to Arch, I still have people say, the what? And I say, the census, we're doing the population count. What is that? So that's an example of we're not evenly educated on the census and why we do the census. It's just not evenly done, but we're hoping that the churches, the nonprofits, that they partnership with the complete the count committees of North Little Rock, and Sherwood, so the word can get out.